Hey, good evening, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and ah, I want to start with where I'm at. Every day, I try and figure out what are you going to say, right? What's going to happen, and I got to give it up. Where was that? Eddie Marciano, Moose already here. Austin Murphy, Marciano. Never take the jab. Just Jane. Um, Chris TW, our singer, Watt Life. Thank you. Thank you all for being part of this dream, for being part of this experience, man. Praise God. Serious. Eddie, I mean, I'm just laughing. Eddie, who did Talcott email today? Stay tuned. And he's right, because you never know. You never know what this sucker might do, man. Sometimes I take people by surprise. And Eddie, the timing of this one, I was sitting here making notes, trying to remember what I did today. And I went through my checklist and I was like, yeah, I got a lot of stuff done. Oh man, but I didn't get any exercise in. And at the same time, I see Eddie pop up, man, resonating the same frequencies, man, feeling the truth. I thought it was pretty funny. So greetings and welcome, brothers and sisters. The link to join is pinned to the chat. I've let me get rid of that. I've prepared just a little bit of stuff. So, tonight my plan is just, I don't know, to go with the flow, to allow the self to change, and I'm gonna adapt, and we're gonna share some time. If people join, wonderful. Should I just monologue a little bit and offer what I can? We'll get through that as well. But today I was blessed. I mean, and that's one of the things I was thinking about earlier. As I'm doing this YouTube and whatever, this experience. Initially, this YouTube channel kind of started out as my public diary of sorts. And so I realize I'm just kind of still continuing that. Anton Daniels is a hoe. Little segue or interruption. Maybe that's not where it is. Maybe that's not. Golly gee. See, I'm going with the flow. And Paul, you distracted, man. Not to blame, but that's what I did. Had some inspiring conversations today offline. I had some plans changed and I extended some invitations. I shared, there were some new opportunities for me to share this experience with others. So I have invited people to participate. And so I'm curious to see who and what what God reveals. And I haven't, unfortunately, thank you, Paul. Proper instruction motivates people, man. God bless you. I did not. I missed your stream earlier, most of it. I know you were on, but I didn't catch anything that was going on, and I really haven't paid a lot of attention to a lot of different things. I noticed I fell behind in my coaching curriculum. I'm a student, and I allowed myself to fall behind in the curriculum. So I got some catching up to do. Worked towards. I took some steps towards a lot of things, but I also did the day to day. I got the yard mowed and took care of some things around the house. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling inspired. And what I'm offering to share is my love, man. It might sound weird, and I know it does. Who the fuck are you? I mean, it's pretty easy for me to say because I got my safe distance away. That's one thing to keep in mind, too. But I do. I love you, all of you, and those around you, too. Because I found out for myself, it's just a nice way to live. It really is. So let me, I forgot to set this up. Let me bring up some thoughts. While I was out mowing the yard today, I had some fun. You know, that's one of the things I realized. That's one of the benefits that humans get when we put ourselves to work. You know, if you're just focused on that which you're doing, your mind's not thinking of the past or the future as much, but you do get to drift. You get to kind of have multitask, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Get stuff done and allow your mind to drift. So that's what I was doing today, and I kind of added in some thoughts I was considering, things I thought were helpful to me. Change, and it's the topic, allowing the self to change. Change in this life, in this experience, change is the constant. We've got to adapt, and we've got to learn to allow ourselves to change. The society is built on tradition and obedience and repetition and ritual. It's all a bunch of craziness. So I think if we want a better world, I think if we want to experience something new, it's time for us to start embracing change, right? So it comes down initially just to the acceptance. Change is the constant. I meant to bring some quotes. You know, there's that old saying that one man never steps again into the river the same, whatever. If you step into the river and then you step into the river again, you're not the same man and you're not the same river. Everything is flowing, everything is changing. Change is the constant of life. It's what makes it happen. And so time is simply a record of change. It is the phenomenon that humans have figured out the pattern to the process as far as, you know, the transition of days and nights and seasons and planets and whatever. Time is just a result of change, and it's the observation of change. The only way we know time, the only way we know change is through life, right? Life is an experience of time. That's all it is. And remember, time is just change. So life is an experience of change. Life is in plants, as in animals, as in ourselves. Life brings growth, and growth reveals change. So are you afraid of change, or are you willing to change? Are you fighting each day to be the same you as before? Or are you exploring yourself and your environment, allowing yourself to grow in different experiences and knowledge and perspectives? Are you embracing change, or are you resisting change? Because brothers and sisters, I think it's time for the ways of the past to go away. Worldwide, nationwide, maybe in the community. I did it with myself. I'm encouraging you. Maybe it's time to cut the past away and bring forth the new so that we can bring the change that we want. This one's poor color choice. What was this? Oh, this was a thought on subtleties and scale. For those who were with us last night, Cage joined us on the panel, and we played some of I can't remember the doctor's name. Played a short part of a lecture regarding ending secrets, and it was a beautiful beautiful conversation. If for those who are interested, I can bring it up if necessary, but I got a stinking copyright claim off it though, which I thought was ridiculous. Anyway, the point is, in that lecture, it was a guy presenting the scientific explanations of consciousness and energy, and just some beautiful discussions, and shows how ass backwards our modern day science is. But that's my conclusion, not what he said. Anyway, the discussion was about the intricacies of the neural patterning of our minds, the way I'm not accurate with all the correct lingo, the vocabulary, but it comes down to the subtleties, right? It's all these tiny, tiny neurons in our mind and the electrical signals, which are just so small, but it is. Excuse me. And so as I understand what others claim to know in the science, it's the subtleties that create our experience within our minds. And it's the, think about it. Fight or flight, your brain tells your body to produce these chemicals, and it's just like that, man. Your entire day has shifted, right? You get something freaking you out, some life-changing scare, and the adrenaline kicks in. So it's all subtle, but the subtleties are power, man. And that's where the scale comes in. It's like layers and layers and layers of energy and different influences which have created life for us to experience. I may have taken that too far off, but I mean, it's subtleties and scale. I mean, as our sciences show down to the atomic level, the molecular level, it's all of these things that form and bond together to create the greater. So subtleties and scale, they're found through comparison. So in other words, there must be more than just the one and a distinction, right? But there's still a perspective of the subtleties and the scale. You've seen the cartoons, right? Imagine yourself down in the carpet level, right? What is visible and and experiential at one level is not the same at another, but it really doesn't change the composition of that which is. Hopefully this makes sense. If not, we'll come around where it does again. So subtleties and scale found through comparison, they're based upon perspective. Subtleties and scale, those comparisons and perspectives, those reveal the distinctions and the purpose. The distinctions between us, between things, those distinctions can divide us, but the similarities unite us. And in the end, we are part of this cosmic holographic simulation of life, something like that. And we're like experiences, and we're stories that are being told, and we're telling stories. This is a story. I'm telling the truth, though. Life is fucking crazy, man. It's pretty cool once you just detach from it, give it some thought. It really is a miracle. So, and this is something I these are just thoughts from today, right? So I've thought about this one before, though. It's through the contrasts. It's through the light and the dark, the contradictions, through the good and the evil. It's through the opposition that the perfection is revealed. And if you can accept that there is perfection, the perfection is the result of the order, and the order is perfection. Yeah, I got into some complicated thoughts today. I allowed my mind to wander. And along with this, discover the art of science and the science to your art. Math and language, those two things, those bring us form, energy, the knowledge. Well, through math, we have geometry and gives us the form and nature of logic. It's like math is another language. But math and language require logic. Reality is logical. I assume from a greater perspective than ours. And as long as you assume from a greater perspective than ours that the whole world makes sense, then the whole world makes sense from someone's perspective. Math and language, those are the keys and power to knowledge. They bring form and energy, and they bring forth truth and love. I'm going to take a break and kind of glance through the chat. There's been a lot going on. I haven't given it much attention, but I do want to thank all of you guys for joining. I started with some. I'm not going to go through the list because then I'll have to try and keep track, but I'm trying to see if there's anything asked or anything. Hey, thank you, Moose. I feel that. Don't get hard on yourself. Amen. Beautiful. First batch of peppers, tomatoes already. What is this? This is May. Holy cows. Yeah, I haven't done my stuff then. Thought you were anti-work, pro-labor. I am. I embrace my laziness because it allows my creativity to flourish. But when a job's got to get done, you got to get the job done. And if you're going to get the job done, you're going to have fun doing it. So out there friggin' mowing the yard, I'm playing with the string trimmer. Dude, those things are fun, man. You got the right tool for the job, man. Work can be fun. You just got to remember to be a kid and kind of have a fun experience. That's what kids that's what kids do. They enjoy what they do. And when we drop our arrogance, man, we're all just big friggin' kids. We're all just trying to figure out what's going on. Speaking of, that dude Anton, I should have sent him. Maybe in the future he might receive a personal invitation, but at this point he hasn't rated for that. Sounds like he did say some things. Yeah, that's right. He gave a response to me in his little arrogance little show. I saw that on Proper Instruction Motivates People. So he gave some half-ass response like he's something. Dude's friggin' out of his mind, man. I'd like to have some conversations, Anton. It's more than just more than the way you described it. is this guy delusional? If you're talking about me, it is possible. There are many who cling to that perspective. But my perspective is no, because I do not believe in lies. I protect and fight for that which is real. Is that true? That's a partial truth, but I do worship the truth. Life is a trip, yes. And Talcott clip collection, I do. Thank you. Thank you very much. I am flattered and grateful. But I'm reluctant to encourage. You recognize this though. I'm sure you do. I'm reluctant to encourage because who knows, man. Anyway, I love what's happening. I love this life. Put up another video with Paul in the thumbnail. This is what I wanted to talk to him about, actually, is he presents himself as quite offensive and racist, to be honest. And I used to make those mistakes, you know? He's apparently got a lot of people listening to him, so that means he's going to look like an asshat in front of a lot of people. But hey, you know, I'm willing to do face-to-face anybody, man. I just got love to share. No, I did not switch to sativa. I'm almost caught up here, I think. I'm almost caught up. I'm pretty sure. All right, here we go. I love you guys, and thank you. What is Josh doing? Maybe that's not. Okay, so this, I went through Truth and Love, man. Those two make the world, man. Oh, here. This was the thought this is where I was at earlier. What is real is true. What is true is not necessarily always real. Okay? So what is real is true. What is true is important. And
hey,
what
Talcott.
Yes, brother.
They said they just said he put up another video with me in the thumbnail.
That's what it sounds like. You're traveling, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm traveling, man. Talcott, we're going places, bro. This guy keeps talking about me and using my face and putting me on thumbnails. Oh boy, we're in the conversation now, Talcott.
You don't know.
Pack a bag, boy. We're going to Hollyweird.
Hold on. I didn't look at him today.
Yeah, bring it up because I can't bring it up. I can't stream. So if he's got it, bring it up. I'm curious to look at it.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they're going to
looked at
promote me,
his,
Talcott. I told you. I told everybody weeks and months ago. I said something's going to happen. There's going to be a flashpoint. They're going to start putting their name in my name in their mouth and promoting me indirectly. So that's where we're at now. I got a feeling.
Yep. See if I can. Oops, that didn't work. What did I do? Try. Can you see it?
Yeah, I don't. Oh, okay. White trolls. The broken, jailbound white man thinks he's
Thinks
something
he's
else.
above the law. He need to be on the Summer Jam screen.
Oh yeah, I do need to be on the Summer Jam screen. He's right, Talcott. He's gonna promote me indirectly.
Well, it's 16 minutes. I might check it later, but honestly, is he worth the time here?
Yeah, no, go on, do your thing. I don't want to take over. I just, I was
No,
a little bit excited there, and I know this is going to eventually lead to us going to the UN, but it's going to be a long
I.
game.
Hey, Paul, I know it is. Oh, you got when I. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. When I reached out to him, I can't remember exactly, but he didn't represent. Obviously, he didn't represent it truthfully. But Paul, I think it's true. I don't know if it's him or it's going to be others, but we're going to rise, and he either has the opportunity to join and help, or to prove himself to be a fool. It's pretty simple choices, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's the thing, man. I've been on a moving train. I already knew it was a matter of time. And the more they keep fucking, you can see the energy, Talcott, right? You even see the energy moving over onto your channel a little bit. And, it ain't nothing necessarily huge, right, at this time. But, you know, folks see the energy that I'm working with and the understanding. So, yeah, it's going to only be a matter of time before there's a different conversation happening and motherfuckers can't hate like they once did. Not the
brother,
same way.
no, this is what I mean. This is the spirit moving everything for us. Okay. Because this guy, he's risen up already. He's already got some subscribers and the attention, but he's sharing the wrong fucking messages. Chase this bag nonsense, right? And his
And now he's
racist
going to chase
crap.
my bag, Talcott. He's going to put my ball bag in his mouth every day. So
Well,
that's the kind of bag chasing they're into, the beta boys.
hey, the thing I should have included the thumbnail that I from that day too, because what he didn't represent, what he didn't realize, maybe he felt attacked by you, but he's coming at my brother, man. So as long as you're staying righteous and staying on truth, man, I'm with you. This dude is he's a stepping stone. This is what I see. So thank you for being the guy that got his attention, and you know,
Well,
we'll see
Talcott, we
where this
both did,
goes.
right? It was synchronistic. It started with me and then it went to your email. So it's an interesting experience nonetheless, wherever it goes. But yeah, I ain't mad at him, right? I'm gonna rip his bitch ass apart for being an infidel, and for faking this funk as he's doing. But ultimately, he's like you said, he's a stepping stone. That's a blessing for him to be talking about me. I got people already coming over going, "Hey, I'm black. You're doing your thing. Stand strong." Right? The real ones are always going to see it and feel it. So I'm not worried. Far from it. I say keep talking about me and promote me because I'm gonna keep talking about your bitch ass now.
Well, it's that message too, man. You're going to get those, you're going to get different people listening, new people going to be receiving that message. And this is the shit that needs to be shared, right? This standing up for what's right, what's true. That's what you're doing, man.
But
So,
Talcott,
yep.
remember when I said this is the tip of the spear idea? It's not about ego. It's about like they're saying down there. I tell you folks, this ain't about my ego or anyone else's. You need to use me as the front line with the face and the name and the background and get in his chat and tell him he's got a daddy, Paul Unslave. Because the more I'm in that chat in other people's mouth, the more I'm in his mouth, the more I'm in the conversation. That's how this thing moves. So then at one point, we're all in the room together, whether it's down in chat, up on the screen, or actually in the same room or on the same land doing events or whatever it may be. So that's what it's about, man. You boost me into the next stratosphere, and then we have that conversation and we show people who and what they are and what they're about and the differences, right?
Hey, and another aspect too, I won't give this guy complete disrespect. You know, he's got some knowledge perhaps in business and some ways of the world that I'm sure we could find ways to do better than better than I'm sure this shit is going to be awesome, brother, and it's a stepping stone one way or the other. Every day is a stepping stone to the future, right? Oh, you're taking care of business.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving her some for gas because now I'm going back over by her because shit's not ready over there. So you're gonna see me back in the house in suburbia with the slaves because I got to do my broadcast. That's first and foremost in my life, Talcott. If that ain't running, nothing's running. So um, yeah, I got to prioritize that till we're ready. Maybe a few months at most.
Hey, Paul, this was something I want to talk to you about. This is not a realistic schedule for long term. Okay. You got to admit that eventually. I'm already feeling it 7 days a week. And it's not, and it's not, I mean, especially me, I'm not putting in the time and stuff. It's just, we all need variety. That's actually kind of with the topic too. Allowing the self to change, to kind of adapt and break up the patterns once in a while. So at some point I am going to change my schedule, take a few days off, but I think when my goal right now is when I get clarity and maybe the right support, the right connections coming together, I'll take a few days and just relaunch or something else. Fucking life, man.
You got to do what feels good to you. You know how I'm running it. I'm running it till the wheels fall off. I'm at a point now. I'm months in. I'm 8 months into this shit. 6 8 months in. I can't not do a day now. Right? I set that habit for myself already. It doesn't matter how I feel. I'm going to show up, and I like showing up at times too. So I don't. It's not as much of a burden. It'll wear on you, as far as kind of your beingness, however you want to call it. Your physicality. It'll wear on you, but yeah, there's no option for me not to show up. Like I said, I'm gonna do at least a year, 7 days straight. I might continue with it, until it's something that I have to address. I don't see why I wouldn't.
I do.
Come on, Talcott. Even if I'm like on vacation, man, on the beach, sipping fucking Mai Tais and banging broads with Jennifer, like they all keep putting on me, right? But maybe like, a little bit of leisure time, right? But I could come on for 20 minutes. I could come on for an hour. There's no reason why I can't. Anton Daniels is doing 4 or 5 videos a day, his punk ass. $3 million in 3 months. Let's get down to it, Talcott. We ain't got to be bag chasers, but don't let me get to $3
No.
million in 3 months because I'll fuck the whole game up, right? I'll spend $1 million just on fucking the game up.
Well, brother, that's anything I make is going to be invested into growth. So I can live modestly. I don't know, brother. We are on the same path. There's something divine about us joining together like this. I really do believe so. And yeah, if anyone who is watching has an idea on how to get, Anton is invited here, and I'm sure over at Proper Instruction Motivates People for sure. But
Shit, anybody knows how to get him on here?
yeah,
Bro, Talcott, this is what I mean about you, man. You're almost too loving for your own good, or you're too naive. Like, you want to see the best in everyone. He's a bitch ass motherfucker. He ain't even gonna have me on his panel again. He's so scared of being held accountable. He ain't coming here, and we're beneath him in his world, right? Why would he come here? What would he get out of it? He don't see any reason to come here. He ain't about the truth and have a real conversation. He's about chasing the bag. He tells you over and over again all day.
Yeah, and Anton Daniels is a trust fund baby who is living off the trust fund set up by his dad's death. And he started into business, and that business failed. And now he's a kid playing Nike and advertising for other people because he can't run a business himself.
Well, I'm going to play that video because the guy's got the video with the financial advisor saying Anton's a fraud. He's got bad credit.
Yeah, it's in the
He's
chat.
in debt. He ain't making no money like that. It says his net worth is $4 million, but it says he does about $240,000 a year. Those things are always wrong and off, man. They say my channel's net worth is $1,500. So good luck with whoever they're tabulating all these fucking numbers one way or the other. Some people are saying they got millions, they ain't got shit. Other people they're saying are poor and broke. Who
I got millions. I got millions.
Here's the deal. Damn it. Knowledge is power. Okay. I don't give a shit what the guy's got in his bank account. I know he's a confused man. And I always feel powerful against the confused, Paul. So I don't know what his past is that brought him to where he is. I really don't know much about him. But I saw he's quite arrogant. He's appears to be doing quite well for himself, and I congratulate him on that. But you know, I'm a man who's all about improvement. And Paul, imagine if, you know, we start getting 166,000 or so, whatever the numbers were, and then that grows to the 3 million. And then you don't have to 7 days a week. Because people will start doing the work. Dude, it's all energy. This is the key. As we're talking, that's where my mind just went, to envisioning the ripples of change and goodness, people coming together, working towards greater good, helping the messages be shared, the solutions, the answers. Fucking be free. All right, so here.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
No, I was fucking having to pay attention to something, so I didn't hear what you said to the last few things. But somebody down there said it don't even matter how much money you're getting to. You're followed by a bunch of fucking sheep slaves, so you're just doing pimping and macking and grifting. There is no proper instruction. There is no change of lives. There is no getting better. It's just lying to all these people, telling them you got all this money and fame to get into conversation, right? Like a lot of folks do. They'll put a fake ass watch on, like these rappers, fake ass watch, say they're moving bricks, show you a bunch of stage money just to get into conversation. Then once they're talking about them, the numbers start going, all the young people start coming, and they get the hip hop culture folks, right? So, you know, that's why I said Talcott at some point, you know, I might take an investment, put it around my neck or on my wrist, and then put it in the corner of the room because I want gold and silver anyway, right? So, you know, if I could pimp and mac a little bit to get in the conversation and paint up the wall behind me and say I'm in my $1 million. See, but I ain't gonna bullshit and lie though. If I'm doing it, it's gonna be a bit non-bit, right? To do what they do.
Hey, Paul, I love you. I see exactly what you're saying, but I want you to think beyond. I want you to think beyond what the old has brought, because what you're saying is absolutely wise. You got to get the attention, and that's what they want. But I see a future where the energies are shifting, where people start caring about knowledge. And so wise men and women will be respected and cared for. At least that's the goal I'm shooting for, because look at how this world disrespects smart people, man. How fucking ridiculous.
You got to know the game. The kingdom of heaven is few. So unless you're going to trick them into the conversation and keep them there with something, you know, it's a niche idea, right? You know, so at best, one day I may probably have a few million or a few 100,000, but in the scope of things, there's folks out there 10, 20, 50 million for doing goofy ass shit, right? Breaking laptops on the ground. So, you know, you're lucky if in this game and doing what I do the way I do it, if you get to a few 100,000 subscribers, like 3, 5, 10 years in. You know, but again, it's about credibility and integrity. I ain't grifting off them. I ain't selling bullshit skin creams and all the rest of it. So I don't have to live in hell, right? Where I hate myself. So that's the best part about it, is I like who I am.
That's right. He's fucking grifting skin cream too. I forgot, dude. You can't write this shit, man. God is hilarious. This is Paul. I think you're right. In the past, you got to put in the time and the effort, and there's been a lot of resistance to the messages you're sharing. But brother, I'm telling you, well, I might be wrong, but I think God is putting this in for us, man. I really do. Where was it? Here, I'm gonna jump. I just got a couple. This one I thought was pretty kind of, if you think about this, put your head around this. What is real is true. what is true is important, and what is important becomes real. We got a lot of people that think the wrong things are important. We got a lot of people that think things that are not real is important, like the concepts, right? Government and fucking economics. So whoever's listening, all of you, I encourage you to ask, what is important for me? Yourself. Are you focused on what is real, what is true, what is important? And then, is it real, is it true, or is it important beyond just you? Because this world, what I've been realizing today too, that was a slide I forgot to do. How do you trust yourself? What's it take for you to be able to trust yourself? This world has been built on fear, and fear comes from distrust. So this love, trust, honor, and value, it's actually written on my mirror in my bathroom. Little reminder for myself, and I've got other notes around the house for health and purity to remind myself. I love myself, I trust myself, I honor myself, and I value myself. And once I can convince myself to believe those things, well, then it's easy. All I got to do is prove it. I just got to show that I love myself, show that I trust myself, show that I honor myself, show that I value myself. I think when we all start doing those things a little more, I think that's what God wants us to do. Paul, Wizard. I'm pretty sure that's what God wants, is for us to love. Because it's the only thing that makes sense to me anymore, honestly, is that we're here to love. And the only thing that keeps our self from experiencing love is beliefs, it's thoughts, either from ourselves or from others. But it's all thoughts that keeps us together, keeps us apart, and brings us together. And so, brothers and sisters, I'm genuine with my words when I tell you I love you. And I am so grateful for you guys, all of you, and especially Mr. Paul Unslaved and Keith, the word wizard. You guys have been an incredible part of this crazy adventure. But if this is real, and if this is true, which one was it? Oops. Discover the art of science and the science to your art. Figure out what is important to you. And if the truth is important to you, then it's up to you to figure out, how do you know? And I tell you what, I know what this world teaches us, but feelings do matter. They don't matter to the facts, but feelings matter to us. And it's because it's through our feelings that we know. I've been learning to trust my feelings, not to be controlled by them, not to deny them, but I've learned to trust my feelings. And brothers and sisters, I think if you can convince yourself to trust yourself, forgive yourself and encourage yourself, if you can trust yourself, there's nothing to fear. Because all that is the experience. So it doesn't matter if we trust anything else or anyone else. As long as we trust ourselves, man, bring the world on. Let's see what we can do.
Unless you're living like a Luma Tommy, right? It was his feelings and his trust of his feelings that got him to do meth and fuck a 17-year-old who was drunk. So maybe not the best advice to tell everyone to trust their feelings all the time. I don't know. Just saying.
Wise. Thank you for that correction, brother. Because in order to trust your feelings, you've got to become honest. I mean, humbly honest. And that's where that no excuses, no blame. When we feel feelings and we throw the blame outside of ourselves, well, then we make excuses to react in anger or whatever. We do stupid shit. We do stupid shit when we don't think. That was another thing I noticed about myself. Holy crap. You've really got to pay attention to what you're doing. Like, I don't know if I'm clumsy or I don't think I'm absent-minded. How would one know? If you're always alone, how would you know if your mind is absent? Wizard. Oh my goodness. Here, anything in the chat? Any of you guys? I saw something about this. You get 5,000 people change and make a difference with those 5,000. It'd be better than having 300,000 do nothing slaves. Absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't take a lot of people for great things to happen. And I honestly think that's where the spiritual stuff, the faith that the Bible is trying to convince us here. That's one of the lessons I've been learning for myself. That faith that's described in the stories of Jesus. Picture yourself with that faith and then figure out what that means for you. Oh, dang it. This was one of the things I thought of. And actually, you back? This might be one for you to consider too, brother, with all due respect. Okay? I know how much importance I place on the truth. And when I see the truth not being respected, I react. It gets to me, right? But here's what I realized. Love is more important than truth. Truth should never be hidden, should never be withheld. Truth should be counted on and shared and trusted, but love, it really, really has to be in the answers. Because if you come to a conclusion that's unkind, uncaring, unhealthy, if you come to that conclusion, it's logic alone that got you there. If you don't find the love in the answer, then you haven't considered enough facts. That's what I realized about myself. The example, my ex-wife. When after our son was born, it wasn't a long couple of years and she'd moved on emotionally. She'd found someone else. So I carried a lot of blame with her because I never got closure. I never understood. Why the fuck did you leave me? I mean, I'm a good dude, man. I didn't cheat. I didn't beat her. I didn't do anything wrong. I was a nice guy. I was what Paul described as one of those fucking spineless spineless feminine boys is what I was. So I don't blame her now for leaving me. Good golly. But took me a long time to figure it out. So I blamed. And when I blamed her, I made excuses for myself to feel anger. And when I felt anger, well, then that gave me an excuse to hit the bottle. So it was just this stupid cycle that I'd convinced myself to believe in. I didn't understand love. Go ahead, Wizard.
When it comes to those things of feelings and stuff, I like to think about the faith aspect of my life, and that's a lot of people think faith has to do with not knowing, and in actuality, in my perspective, it has to do with the facts that you're presented and having faith in your ability to respond to those facts. So again, faith ends up being a verb. Faith without works is dead. And you have to combine your works, which are good faith, with the faith of like kind, that the response is going to be good, that the effect is going to be good. The same with the love and all the other feelings. Even when it comes to anger and sadness, that the effect in the outcome is that you learn from it so that the response increasingly gets better and better. This is the thing about dealing with grief and everything. You learn how to get over the grief. I don't think that's the true perspective. I think that you learn how to get through the grief. Again.
Amen. Amen. Emotions. Yeah, brother, you said a lot. I brought up the other night the connection between faith and love. And I think I got what you were saying. Faith is that in which it's not seen, but it's known. And here, from my experience growing up, I didn't have faith in a higher power, and I didn't experience a lot of love in my life. Wizard brother, I think your story is probably mine was gentle, but I believe there's a lot of similarities. Okay? So not understanding love, it eventually after breaking me, it made me into a stronger man, because I learned how to push through things that I didn't like, regardless of support. I learned how to suffer and take it and deal with it. But it fucking sucked. So with that thought that I was always the one who I was the one responsible. I had to bear the brunt. I had to carry the burden for not just myself, but for others, because that's what a man does. Well, I wasn't loving myself. And what I realized was I wasn't loving others, because my actions contradicted my words. And now in hindsight, as I'm saying this, I lacked faith. I lacked faith that the other people could solve their own problems. I lacked faith that I put a lot of importance on myself. And since I put a lot of importance and carried a lot of burden for myself, I pushed God out of the way. And with that, I placed a lot of blame. And, well, I took here's where I'm at. What I encourage everybody, go through your life. Be honest, be humble, take the blame. Yep. Fuck, I created that problem. I created that experience. I created that whatever. I'm to blame. But if you can learn from that which was, if you can learn from the past, if you can be grateful, blame yourself for the good as well as the bad. Blame other people for the good as well as the bad. Hey, Paul, where you getting noise? I'm not sure if you're back or what, brother.
Some phones require additional confirmation.
I'm gonna mute. There we go. Thank you, brother. Blame for the good as well as the bad. Be completely honest. If you're only seeing the bad in something, or you're only seeing the good in something, better reconsider. Ask yourself if there's another perspective, if there's information you're missing. Because it is really easy to blame ourselves. It's really easy to blame other people. But we've got to remember that there is a spirit greater than us. And in the end, I believe we're all just relatively, same organic composition and same structures of biology. I think we're all just people trying to figure out what people are supposed to do. I want to redefine people. Comprehension versus apprehension. That's a beautiful consideration. I mean, I would suppose you apply that within new information. Do we comprehend, or are we apprehensive, creating a resistance? I assume that's where that was going. Yeah.
With knowing, there is boldness to move forward, and it takes less faith.
Say that again. With knowing?
With knowing comes the boldness and requires less faith. It's just like riding a bike. The more you do it, the better you get at it. The better you get at it, the less fear you have. Same with faith. You no longer require the faith because you have comprehension and confidence.
Amen, brother. And what you just said, that's kind of what I reminded myself, is that logically, everything is simple once simple is known. And in this life, there's so many people, so many different lives have been lived. There's so many different things. What's complicated for me right now may be very simple for someone else. I mean, a great example is this broadcasting, the panels and stuff. Paul's a genius. I don't know if it's natural or gifted or spent time and hours. Well, you have time and hours refining and growing. So every one of us can do things that others, we may take it for granted too. Our ability to do something that's really just seems like an insurmountable challenge for someone else. Great example is, handyman or construction. Replace a sink faucet. That's right. I just went through that. Replace a sink faucet. Luckily, the handyman came, knocked it out in like an hour. But for me, I just spent a full day trying to find the tools or trying to figure it out. Every one of us does things differently and easily. And what Wizard said too, the knowing, the strength that you have when you know what you're doing, when you can, with a goal, if you can envision yourself succeeding in your goal, then if you know that is the result you are moving towards, then you take your steps boldly. You move forward with, not stupidity, not blindly, but like Wizard said, with faith. And it comes down to the trust in yourself. and to trust ourselves. Here, it's just simply obvious, right? We are the witness, the constant witness of ourselves. So within us, we know what is true for what we say. And so, damn it, I started talking for a reason. To be our true selves, we must become honest and allow the truth to flow us, to rest ourselves in the moment, in the present time, in this moment of being. Go ahead, Wizard.
Much like Bruce Lee said, be like water, take upon the form of truth, and the world will expose itself.
Yes. Well, hey, excuse me. Between truth and love, they are inseparable. But the way I put it in my mind, maybe this is a bad explanation. Nope, I'm going to stop there because I haven't talked this one through. Has to do with the relationship between truth and love. God is here. God is the truth. Christ was the symbol of love. Truth will destroy love, but love will return stronger, empowered by the truth. Holy cows. I think that's true. And I do believe we, all of us, it's humbling to consider that it might be true, but I'm gaining confidence in it. When we're honest, when we are grounded and present in the moment of now, this state of being ourselves, I think when we're honest, we are the living truth. The Bible is a reference guide, right? Kind of a how-to puzzle. Oh, that was a thought too regarding parables. There's something to where that meant. The words are symbols. Symbols require language, and the language is the words, but the language reveals the meaning. Our vocabulary is critically important. It is very important that we pay attention to the words we say and thinking as well, because it all starts there. So, Wizard, there's something in the Bible about capture the thoughts, interrogate the thoughts, bring them captive, put them before the Christ. If you do that with your thoughts, you purify your own mind. Well, it also says greater things shall be done, right? We may see miracles, man. The world starts turning into a more loving version. I think miracles are going to just flow through the world, healing, and I don't know. I could be wrong, though.
Well, coincidentally, I just posted a comment in the chat section as you were saying that, Jack. And I said, we control ourselves whether we like to think so or not. And so when we think about it, we take over that control part. And that's that manifestation that we talk about, the positive and negative thoughts, whether they're materialistic or pathwise, the process-wise. That's what I was saying about the water earlier. Be like water. Water is the form. Once you can take on water, you can learn the shape of anything, the form of anything. And then the truth of that is the process. They flow together, both increasing in energy if they're pure. Pure truth and pure love. Yeah, I agree with you, Jack.
Those are powerful forces, truth and love. I shared that last night. I don't know if you saw that, Wizard. I think knowledge, the more I think about this, the more I think it's true. Knowledge is the currency of the gods. Love is the treasure. So the treasures we're supposed to capture here are the knowledge and perspectives, the memories and experiences of love. Because the strength and power of knowing, the best way to know is through experience. And I think that's why the Creator created experience for us. So that we might know. And if we're going to know, if we're going to be, if we're going to love, well, we should love knowing being. Right? I don't know. I swear, the more I think about it, I think these words are so deep and true that God is truly our best friend. And I truly believe God has a sense of humor, but you don't want to fuck around with God. You don't want to disrespect. Because it just makes, the more I think about these things, the more it makes sense to me that God is the unseen, right? God is the good. Well, we each get to define what is good. What's good for one may not be good for another, but it's all perspectives on experience. Oracle, thank you. My perspectives on the scriptures, man, I've been blessed. Seriously, I've been so blessed, and I don't know how it's happened. But we're alive right now, brothers and sisters, at a time unlike any other. And holy shit, that time like any other was always. But I think we are living at a time right now where, like, the universe is changing, humanity is evolving, the structures of fucking criminality, they are crumbling, Paul. The banks, well, I don't, we may not have to do anything. The banks are going to crumble, and the governments will be, I don't know. I don't know what. Oh, Oracle. This was the point yes, God truly does have a sense of humor. I agree, though. Have a reverence for God, and I don't want to not walk in alignment. Swear, once you start finding your peace, and your flow, the thought of lying to me, the thought of stealing to me, the thought of hating to me, just fuck. No, not going to do it. I mean, those are the sins. Moral, I mean, common law is it's what is necessary. No theft. So if I'm not going to steal, if I'm going to make sure I'm not stealing, I'm going to make sure I'm generous. That's probably the best way. I don't know. That's stupid thought I just thought. But the idea is, when we humble ourselves to the truth, we become stronger. And, well, back to the public diary, that was an observation I found in myself earlier too. I think my confidence may come across as arrogance quite a bit. And I think there's many people I've met who might be intimidated Paul, I'm sure you've dealt with that too. You're a powerful personality. But the intimidation isn't, I don't know how to be more humble, honestly. Oh, you guys are allowing me to flow. Thank you. And I feel like I am flowing, but kind of bouncing around a little. Damn. There was a thought I had earlier that I was planning to retrieve. Sound isn't with my words. My signal may be dropping, but I don't know. Paul, you're traveling. The link is available for those who may want to join, but my expression is lagging. Okay, you can hear me. God bless. Hey, humbly, I don't know how to be more humble. I don't know how to be more honest. I truly believe and I do trust that our Creator, that which is real, I think that which is real is guiding us all. Paul, like you said, the spearhead. I've had that hope inspired within me for a while, is to kind of spearhead and lead to help connect a lot of dots and get a big movement going. Because a world without secrets, man, if people weren't in competition with each other for basic survival, imagine how much we'd be able to learn. Like, man, I've spent a lot of time thinking, and actually, brothers and sisters, I'm going to challenge myself and make a commitment. That will be one of my upcoming presentations, is try to help others imagine a world without secrets, a world with equality, a world of peace. The world of peace is right there right now. It's just hidden behind the fucking bombs and weapons. Oh yeah, and the lies and the debts. Oh yeah, and the toxins and the pollutants. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The distractions of Hollywood and Major League Sports. When knowledge is freely shared, equality will be known. Equality will be experienced. And I tell you what, if people knew the truth of what our government officials were doing, the shit would change. And the thing that blows my mind is that the truth is there. It's all available for us to see. The crap that's happening publicly in front of our face, that which is obvious, shows that there is dysfunction and corruption abound. We don't need, oh yeah, we don't need eternal friggin' investigations to learn the facts and figure out who's screwing over the nation, who's selling people out. It doesn't take a long time. I've been debating whether to bring up news here, but I was watching the news earlier. I guess in the news today, they were highlighting some of the people standing up on behalf of Julian Assange. I mean, he's a fellow man right now. He exposed fucking crimes, and we supposedly care about freedom of press, freedom of speech, and this guy's being chased by governments. And, he spent years when there could have been, present the facts, let's figure it out. this nonsense of punishment, locking human beings in cages. Fucking I've heard about this solitary confinement, 23 hours a day at many prisons is pretty common. That's fucking nuts. I don't know how it's going to happen, brothers and sisters, but we are all part of this time here on earth, and I want to find a way.
Talcott,
Yes, brother.
they're telling me Anton's live and he's about to drop the link for his panel. You want to invade or what?
Yes. How do I don't know how to do this.
You have to share screen and then just type in Anton Daniels on share screen on YouTube and then go to his live. And then when you hit the panel link, then you can share that StreamYard that you'll be in. All you're doing is sharing whatever you see on your screen. Because you said you wanted to have a conversation with him. So he does the panel from time to time. He hadn't been doing it for a bit, I don't think, but they said he's doing it now. So if you want to go in there, I'll go in there and, hold him accountable. You're on mute.
Thank you. I definitely want conversations with that man. And I've got it pulled up. I don't have him, I don't know. Should the link drop or something? Maybe we'll do this. I'm more inclined, though, Paul, to relieve myself of the distraction of broadcasting myself. I'm inclined to maybe go take care of that. Go do it on my own. Oh, I've got you, Paul. Fuck, you can take this over, can't you?
I'm on my phone.
What about Moose?
Oh, man, you guys. I wasn't subscribed to this channel, so.
Don't need to subscribe for panel link.
No, for chat, though.
Subscribe and then unsubscribe when you're done. It only takes 5 minutes to get to the chat. But then once you're done with the show, just unsubscribe.
Oh, there we go.
What's going on, Jack?
All right. Hey, sorry, brothers and sisters. And welcome, Scott. I allowed my mind to drift. I popped into chat, offered greetings, and I asked if there's an opportunity for us to speak. So we'll see what happens.
And it's Anton character I've heard about recently?
Yes.
All right. What's his channel? Anton
Daniels.
But
you know what? I'm not so worried about him. He's going to everything's going to align. And if it's not today, it will be soon.
Yeah, but the fire's hot right now, Jack. Didn't you just talk to him?
Well, I could I may follow up with an email, which is just as easy. And we'll see where why won't Jack just knock it off? Here. Hold on. Someone commented it in the chat there. Where's it at? Oops.
That's hilarious.
There. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, there you go, Talcott.
It says, why won't Jack just knock it off? Donated $10.
Did he drop the panel link yet, or what?
No, he has not.
Yeah, I don't even think he's gonna. He's a hoe. Listen. I love everybody. You want to act like a bitch? I'm gonna talk to you and treat you like one. Rubbing all that skin cream on your face, talk about God over culture, and telling everybody we don't give a fuck about rights and principles. Get a bag. That's not gonna work for me. You're not gonna mislead a whole nother generation into fucking themselves and each other out of their humanity.
Nope. Amen, brother. We'll figure it out. Hey, I'm actually kind of inclined to wrap this up. I kind of shared what I wanted, I think, about change and some of the thoughts I had today.
I just came up real quick. I'll tell you why if you want to hear.
Oh, yes, please, Scott. Please go ahead,
I heard
brother.
you say something about, incarcerated people putting human beings in small little cages like rats and, or dogs or whatever. I think at some level it's not right. You just shouldn't do that. But then there's some people that you really don't know that you have a choice. I mean, when a dog is rabid, you often put them down. And there's people out there that are sort of rabid, instinctually they want to fuck women and they think it's okay to rape them and force themselves on them, and if that continues to happen, then you have a problem. And that person should be separated, segregated, and insulated himself from harming others.
Agreed.
So it is a necessary evil, it sucks. It's just one of those things. I don't think that nonviolent crimes have any fucking thing to do with that.
Hey, Scott, I agree. Right now, there needs to be a way to separate those who are not able to abide by what's moral, keep them separated from those who can. I mean, but, here, let me get to not living up to your brand, Jack. What happened? That's a fascinating calling you out. Lose the brand or go past your fear, brother. See, truth, not lies, imagining lies, presenting them as facts, presenting them as truth. I'm seeing no facts. Calling me out for what? What do you think I'm afraid of?
Dumbass.
Thank you. I ain't afraid of nothing, man. I'm loving my life. Scott, what did you say?
I just simply that, there's a few people that should be locked up, but not ordinarily.
Hey, thank you. The future I see, I'm sorry to interrupt, but thank you for reminding me.
Sure.
The future I see is one where there's an old story, and I don't know if it's true, credited to a remote village, right? When someone within the village commits a crime, they bring them in, and everyone in the community tells them how important they are, how much they care for them, how involved they are. So there's ways to correct and educate people. There's ways for them to learn different behaviors besides just punishment. And that's what I want the world to know.
That's something to aspire to. It starts at home. It starts with lessons. It starts with nurturing, love, caring, understanding. It starts with discipline too. And when a kid learns the hard way that things are wrong, and I don't mean discipline in somebody. It could be timeout. It doesn't have to be violence. You don't have to spank your kid, but you do have to use psychology on them, which may mean eventually lying to them about Santa Claus and whether or not they'll get the toy next week at the store if they're good tonight. The reality is it's an interesting world we live in, and if there's any true answer to this, I think the only answer I've come up with is we're not supposed to know the reason behind it all. if there is that true reason God created everything and left a mystery. And we're here trying to figure it out. And I think that we might need to be that deity to figure it all out. But we're learning one step at a time. We kind of make our way through this world trying to understand, comprehend, and, well, recreate if we only pretend to be, that kind of powerful source of love and understanding. But we do our best. So good night. I know you said you wanted to cut this off. So have a good one. I want to say hello and keep up the work, buddy.
Thank you, Scott. God bless. You too. Have a good night. Hey,
Kick me in
thank
the back.
you. All right. Hey, thank you for acknowledging that. I can understand. And now it makes more sense. Yeah, if the link was there, I'd be questioning myself too. It has not been made available from what I've seen. But I don't need to beg for opportunities. I do. Brothers and sisters, I encourage this for you. When you can envision the future you want, health-wise, relationship, financially, whatever, experientially, when you can envision yourself in that experience and bring the emotional state into the being, bring all of your senses in. What does it sound like? What are you hearing? What are you saying during these experiences? What are you smelling and sensing? Bring your consciousness into that future experience of success. Trust that if the brain, it comes from form. So if the brain can envision it, if it can imagine it, then it can become. So it just takes a matter of putting the steps and the efforts and the actions into place. So if you can envision the future you want, place yourself there, trust your spirit will guide you to that or greater things, and then back yourself off into where you are today, right now, and take that first step. Do it today. Do it right now. As soon as this is done, go take that first step towards improving your life, letting go of something that maybe doesn't serve you anymore. Letting go of the old schedule you used to have or the old plans you used to have. Allow yourself to grow into new ideas, new experiences, new aspirations, new inspirations, new experiences as yourself with each other. So, brothers and sisters, while there's many of you here, I am going to wrap this up and thank you sincerely. Thank you all for your time. Those who joined on the panel, of course, brother Paul Unslave, proper instruction motivates people. My brother from another mother and separated by distance and years. Thank you for joining. All those who did and in the chat, please subscribe, share this experience with others, and invite others to join us, because a world without fear, a world of peace, a world of prosperity, a world of abundance, a world of health, it is here. We just got to get ourselves into it. So thank you again, brothers and sisters. God bless, peace for everyone, and live without fear.